An urgent message from the President of the United States.
This is your President. On behalf of my country, and in the name of the other leaders of the world with whom I have today consulted, I hereby abdicate all authority and control over this planet to General Zod. Only by strict compliance with all his directions will the lives of innocent millions be spared. Superman, can you hear me? Superman, where?
Who is this Superman?
You'll find out, General. And when you do...
Come to me, Superman. If you dare, I defy you. Come and kneel before Zod. Zod!
President Trump says the U.S. will be tapping into its strategic petroleum reserve if needed following this weekend's attacks on oil sites in Saudi Arabia. Now, the White House has put the blame on Iran, which is
not buying that crap anymore.
Pompeo on his way to Saudi Arabia this morning to meet with the Crown Prince as tensions rise with Iran in the wake of that attack on key Saudi oil facilities. Iran's leaders warning against any retaliation as chances of a meeting with President Trump are dwindling. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, is tracking all the latest from Washington. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. The State Department this morning is urging U.S. citizens traveling in Saudi to be more vigilant. The official says the investigators have found compelling forensic evidence from those missiles and the some 20 drones that hit the facilities.
Once they get the debris of these drones that crashed in the desert, they'll be able to very precisely match things like the wings and the tail to pictures that the Iranians themselves have published.
Image from Saudi social media appears to be missile wreckage, an image that analysts are examining.
Look, I didn't touch a drum set, okay? I witnessed with my eyes your testicles touching my drum set.
All right, that's it. That's it.
You two guys leave me no choice.
No television for a week.
What?
We are so serious, guys.
You're fucking high! Are you out of your mind?
Who attacked the ships, but here in Tokyo, the Japanese owner of one of the two damaged tankers held a news conference earlier today, and there, president of the shipping firm watched the video released by the U.S. military, and, in that video, the U.S. military claims it captured Iran's Revolutionary Guard removing an unexploded mine from the side of the Japanese-owned tanker. However, the Japanese shipping firm made a milder comment and said that the tanker was damaged by flying objects and strictly denied the possibility of torpedo attacks, as reported in some media. We also have comments coming in from some Japanese ministers. Trade Minister Hiroshige Seko said that the tanker attack won't affect Japan's energy supply.
Secretary of State was saying maybe Iran was behind it. Now, though, we see them get out there immediately, publicly, definitively saying this was Iran and here's some evidence.
This dramatic new video released overnight shows a small boat approaching the Kokuka Courageous tanker. You can see an individual removing an object from the tanker's hull. U.S. military officials say that object is likely an unexploded mine removed by Iranians just hours after the initial explosion. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo accusing Iran of carrying out the attacks, using the video as his evidence.
Iran is lashing out because the regime wants our successful maximum pressure campaign lifted.
U.S. defense officials believe Iran recovered the device to remove any evidence of their involvement in it.
And who believes this? Because I know I don't. So let's just give you some of the background here. This is from CNBC. But the takeaways are this. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Thursday blamed Iran for attacks earlier in the day on oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman near Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping route through which much of the world's oil passes. Quote, Iran is lashing out because the regime wants our successful maximum pressure campaign lifted, unquote, Pompeo said. No economic sanctions entitle the Islamic Republic to attack innocent civilians, disrupt global oil markets, and engage in nuclear blackmail, he continued to say. The White House said President Donald Trump was briefed on the matter and blamed Tehran of being behind a similar attack on May 12th on 4 tankers in the same area. Now, why would Iran go and attack oil tankers because we put maximum pressure on them for sanctions, and so now they want to escalate into war? That doesn't make any sense. Now let's go on to say what the Washington Post wrote about this. So we've got these 2 petrochemical tankers in the Gulf of Oman. They came under suspected attack early Thursday amid the tensions between the United States and Iran. Here's what we know. This is from the Washington Post. The attacks, which were high profile and apparently carried out in broad daylight, marked a serious escalation in a volatile region and one of the world's most important waterways. The timing of the attacks was extremely sensitive and appeared aimed at undermining Japan's efforts to encourage talks between the United States and Iran. U.S. military officials have assessed that the attacks were carried out by Iran or forces under its influence, a defense official said. One of 2 ships attacked Thursday off the coast of Oman. A Japanese-owned tanker was targeted just as Japan's Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe, was wrapping up a high-stakes visit to Tehran to help cool hostilities in the region and potentially mediate U.S.-Iran talks. Well, of course. Yes, there's Japan. Shinzo Abe goes to Iran. He says, you know what, maybe we can just kind of cool this down. And, strangely, while he's there trying to have peace talks with Iran, all of a sudden one of their oil tankers gets attacked. In order to what? So that we could then point to Iran and say, see Japan, they're not friendly. They're not for peace. Look at what they do. Yeah, what would be exactly Iran's motivation in that? The attack appeared timed to undermine those efforts. Right, because Iran would time it to undermine those efforts. Yeah, come visit us, come hang out, let's talk peace. Hold on, let's blow up some of your oil tankers while you're here. No, okay, who believes this? Nobody believes this.
Don't get this sucker no statue. Give him guts. I told you I wasn't going away. You got your shot. Now give me mine.
Why don't you get the hell out of there?
Shut up, old man. I ain't going nowhere. And why don't you tell all these nice folks why you've been ducking me? Politics, man. This country wants to keep me down. Keep everybody weak. They don't want a man like me to have the title because I'm not a puppet like that fool up there.
You know, you got a big mouth, you know?
Why don't you come out and close it, bad boy? Come on. Come on.
You tired, dog. This guy's crazy. Don't listen to him.
The little man don't want to come to me. Then I'll come to you people and lay out the truth. I am ranked number 1. 1! That means I'm the best. But this bum been taking the easy matches, fighting other bums. I'm telling you and everybody here, I'll fight him anywhere, anytime, for nothing. But you people ain't never gonna see it happen because he's gonna retire. You see, he don't fight no real man. He fight themselves.
What? You're a disgrace to this sport.
Shut up, old man. You that chump don't know where to come from. Bad boy, your family doing real nice, ain't it? You call yourself a fighter? Prove it now. Give me that same chance. The way he been ducking is the disgrace. If he ain't no coward, why don't he fight me then?
I can't listen anymore of this. Hey, anytime. I don't care what you rank. You don't get no shot, and I mean that.
I'm glad you people are saying this here.
What are you doing? I want to fight this guy.
Well, you got him. I worked hard.
You fight him without me. What are you saying?
It's finished. Yes, I'm finished. I don't want no more. I don't want no more. You understand?
Judging by my pride, my determination.
It's over with.
But judging by my fighting record. Hey, woman. Hey, woman. Listen here. Since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you'd like to see a real man. I bet you stay up late every night dreaming you had a real man, don't you? I tell you what, bring your pretty little self over to my apartment tonight, and I'll show you a real man.
Let's smack the out of you right now. Don't you ever talk about my mom.
Yeah,
Ever talk about
yeah. What's good?